Hi, my name is Jon Yeitrakis. I joined the United States Navy in 1965. Went to Hospital Corps School in San Diego, California. After 2 years in the service, it was my time to do sea duty, so I volunteered for sea duty, and I didn't realize it was going to be the United States Marines. And so I went to Camp Pendleton for advanced field medical training. And we had 2 classrooms, 1 mile apart. Every class was in the other classroom. So in between the 15-minute break between classes, we would run to the other classroom. Didn't give you much time for a smoke break. But there was a lot of good things that came about it, and a lot of camaraderie. After that, I was assigned to the 3rd Battalion, 7th Marines, Lima Company, 3rd Platoon, in the Republic of Vietnam. When I arrived on the airplane, they were rocketing the airfield, and the airplane hit a pothole from a rocket, and the landing gear came off on the left side, and it was quite a while before they got to us. When they came on board, they asked if there were any corpsmen there. I raised my hand, they took me to the front of the line, took me right through all the other people, and sent me right out to the Lima Company, and we were in pursuit of the people that had done the rocketing. It was 5 weeks before I actually got to the base area. So it was a experience that I'll never forget. The one thing I can say about that is that there are a tremendous amount of people that you learn to your life depends on. And all of a sudden you learn how to trust somebody and to rely on their abilities. And that's something that everybody should learn to do. On September the 15th, I had the opportunity to go to Da Nang to make what's called a Mars call home. And that was ham radio operators that would go click, click, click. And then when you got done talking to your mom, you would say over, and then they go click, 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 and then she could talk to you. While I was standing there, a deuce and a half pulled up, and they said, "We need a corpsman," and there wasn't any other corpsmen around there. And I was ready to go to Da Nang for a short hour. So I jumped in it, and as we were going down there, the driver told me, he says, "Doc," he said, "the minesweeping team hit a landmine." And I said, "Oh my God." So anyway, we got there, and as we parked on a landmine, and it blew me through the roof of the truck. So that was the first time I was awarded the Purple Heart. I got back. We went through a lot of time out in the field. And like I said, you can't understand unless you've been there that you become so dependent on one person and the other that you are so comfortable that they have your life. So on November the 8th, we were out on a patrol, and we had set in and we got ambushed, and somebody hollered grenade, and there was already one man wounded. So I went over to him, I grabbed him, the grenade went off, and I took the shrapnel. So after we got back to the base camp, they medevaced me out, they put me in the hospital. I went down to, I asked the doctor, I said, instead of going to the hospital ship, can I go down to Cam Bay, because my brother was in the Army, and he was a lieutenant in the Special Forces. So they said sure, and they sent me to an Air Force hospital, and which was really cool because they got better food than the Navy hospital does. And I got to spend that time with him. Then I was medevaced to Okinawa, and I waited there for 32 days, and then I was shipped back to the United States. When I did arrive in the United States, there was a contingent of people that didn't care for the war, and we were on a medevac flight, and they were protesting us and throwing things, so they put us back on the flight, and they flew us into another airfield. But the only thing we talked about on the flight was the fact that the reason we were fighting was to give them the right to have the ability to do that demonstration. The tossing cabbage and shit, that didn't go too well, but they did have the right. So I wound up going to the Marine Corps Air Station Yuma, where they were training German pilots. And it seems like I never got done with having to take care of people, because 3 times in my last 6 months of service, the pilots were taking a nosedive, ejecting and hitting a mountain, and then I was going to have to take care of them. But the one thing is that the Navy gave me the training that I was able to actually save a lot of people's lives. A lot of people I couldn't. But you have to realize that whatever you can do, you need to do. The military gives you the basics, they give you the drive, and they give you the ability to know that you have to learn to rely on other people, because you can't do it on your own. I've carried that through with me into civilian life. It's been a mainstay for me. It's helped me. I've dropped into lows and I've gone into highs. But when I come to the realization that you have to depend on other people, but you have to get the training, the military does give you that. And if you pay attention and you go through the guidelines, you will realize that you can't make it on your own. There's no way. So the only thing I can pass on to the youth of today is that if it's to your benefit, whether you want to have the college funding, whether you want to learn a trade, if you go into one of the services, I don't care if it's the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, the Marines, the Coast Guard, take it for all it's worth, because they will train you to the best of their ability, and which is normally the best in the nation. You can take that forward and you can do anything you want to do, because this is a great nation, and it's one thing that nobody can ever take from you. Thank you very much.